to, if it was possible, to get onto the Audit and Risk Committee and to contribute. Quite comfortable for them as volunteers to go onto that committee. That's both Councillor Linda and Councillor Ross. And secondly, that there is an issue there with respect to the deputy chairpersonship of that committee. I am very comfortable for you, Bill, as the chair, to in the next meeting of the Audit and Risk Committee make that a matter of first item of business for the committee to appoint its deputy. I see no purpose in my becoming involved in that or giving any sort of direction. The committee is well capable of appointing its own deputy chair. So in those circumstances, I'd just like to acknowledge the retirement of Councillor Cathy and the appointment of Councillor Ross and Councillor Linda to the committee, and that the committee, without any further discussion, will make its own appointment around the role of the deputy. Councillor Penny.
Thank you, Mr. Mann. I'm pleased that you have publicly acknowledged the issue around Councillor Casey. I hope someone relays the fact that that was done publicly and that she's aware of that. I acknowledge and support fully Councillor Cashmore. I just wonder, and I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to discuss this with you, the role of our Chair of Finance, Councillor Webster. I'm just wondering what her role in this may be. I think it's good having the councillors who've put their names forward. My understanding was that Councillor Webster had put her name forward as well.
I'm on the committee. I wanted to be Deputy Chair.
Oh, okay. Well, I suspect
so that'll
the committee
happen
will sort that out.
Just clarifying, just making sure that was raised. Good.
Very
I think
good.
it's good to do these these things publicly so we don't end up having to have apologies. So that's great. Hopefully Councillor Casey will come back into the room at some stage.
I'm sure she will. Councillor Dick.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. And may I just acknowledge Councillor Walker, who's been a long-standing friend of mine. John and I have known each other
a long time.
Long time.
I first met that young man in Tauranga, and he gave me a real thrashing over 800 metres.
Well, that was never your best distance.
Going back a few years now, but last night when I heard about his resignation from the chairmanship, I immediately posted some comments and the link on my Facebook page, and I've got to say that it's been acknowledged by people from all over the world, acknowledging John, acknowledging his contribution to both civic life and to the world of sport, and those acknowledgements have come from all over the world, and it's a mark of the esteem in which Sir John Walker is held in, not just in this country, but all over the world. And I just want to say, John, I wish you all the best and thank you for everything that you've done. I know this is not the end of your civic life, but you know, you've made a tremendous contribution, and I appreciate that, and I'm sure that everybody around Auckland and further afield acknowledges that. Thank you.
Thanks, Philip. Well done, Dick. Thank you. Councillor Linda and Councillor Camp.
Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess I just wanted to acknowledge Sir John, because when I first met him, when I first came on council, I said to him, when I was a teenager, you were my hero. Oh. I had a paper clipping up on the wall of him in one of his finest moments.
Still and there?
Yeah, no, different bedroom now, different bedroom. But he said to me, secretly, don't tell my husband. He said to me, but look at me now, and I said, yeah, but that makes no difference to what we think of you as a New Zealander. And this isn't your swan song, but I guess for me, that though you're standing down from the chairmanship, you, for me, still continue to make very prudent decisions around our table, and a very important part of the decisions that we make. And as we've heard this morning, we have many people that have different disabilities, but it doesn't preclude one from being involved fully in civic life. And that's what you represent now, and it doesn't take away from anything you've ever done. It actually is makes you more of a hero. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Very nice. Councillor Cam.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I remember being on the embankment at Cook's Gardens
You were 3.
and watching, when I was at secondary school, and watching Sir John running a sub 4-minute mile in and around the age of 40 from memory. I just want to table with you, Mr. Mayor, that next year, of course, is the 40th anniversary of the Montreal 1976 Olympics, and we are in an unusual global position that 40 years on we've got 2 sitting representatives on our council, and I just think it would be a wonderful opportunity to acknowledge that 40th anniversary with an occasion of some sort, given the uniqueness that we have two of the greats from Montreal at our table, and so that was just some feedback.
Great idea, and I'm sure we'll take that as a lead for us to do something there. I've got Councillor Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm not that familiar with the work of this committee. In fact, I sometimes find it difficult to understand how auditing and the role in particular of the Auditor General and how our committee interacts with all that sort of stuff. I remember in the ARC every year the Auditor General used to send people up to look at the books, and I remember having an interview with one of the leading auditors, and halfway through the interview he leaned over to me and said, "Are you aware of any malpractice or embezzlement?" And I said, "That's your job, isn't it?" But in terms of the changeover in the committees, could we also put in a thank you for Councillor Casey, because she did work very hard supporting Councillor John.
Good idea.
That's right. Very happy to put that in. And I've got Councillor Sharon.
Yes, I'd just like to say that I've sat next to Sir John since the day that he first came on Manukau City Council, and I think that was, what, 1998?
Yeah, that's it.
1998, and I'm really pleased we're now into 2015. I'm still sitting next to him, and I know next year, 2016, I'll be sitting next to him. And you never know, he may even make a return for the next term of council.
Yeah, I got a
Mayoralty.
Everyone else is on it.
Jeez. Wayne's got his headline.
I think like Councillor Cooper, a lot of us in our age group, Sir John was our hero, and I can remember meeting Sir John when I was on the local board in 1995 at some function, and going up and saying how pleased I was to meet him, and then he was our hero, and so anyway, Sir John's still here, and I think he's probably done the right thing, just retiring from the audit and risk, and but he has got an awful lot to continue offering to this council. So,
Sharon, I want to
just be next to you for the rest of this term of council. Absolutely.
Kia ora, mate. Sharon, I just want to acknowledge the role that you play, in particular in helping John through those challenges that he has day in, day out, and you do a very, very nice, compassionate work, so thank you. All right, so councillors, we've added E, and so with all those very thoughtful reflections, I'll move it. Councillor Bill, you'll second? Well, Councillor Cam, you'll second. Yeah. Good man. Right, I'll move all of those recommendations. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Against? Thank you, councillors. Councillors, now on to move to exclusion of the public, and I move the exclusion of the public for all of those reasons as set out. I'll move that. Second, please. Councillor Linda will second. All those in favour say aye. Aye. It's against? Right, the public is now excluded.